Believe it or not, there was actually a time people thought Captain Falcon couldn't win a major, which seems pretty crazy to even consider since Captain Falcon is currently a top 6 character on Melee's most recent tier list, which many people don't even consider the Captain Falcon Dark Age that occurred in the early to mid 2010s. Many people predicted that Captain Falcon would potentially drop in the meta in the 2010s because of his middling results at the time at tournaments. It's funny because Falcon is far from being a terrible character. In fact, his overall KO potential is at some of the highest in the game, for pretty obvious reasons. If you played Melee, you already know. However, his meta was overall very underdeveloped, even going back in the early days of competitive Melee. In Melee's very first tier list in 2002, Captain Falcon was actually barely considered a mid-tier character, being ranked 15th out of 26, and even back then people thought he potentially could drop even from that placing, which is kind of funny. Which is realizing that he would eventually become at a much higher point in the meta way down the road. In the meta in the early days though, Falcon players were very much bare bones. Many people were comparing Captain Falcon from the Smash 64 iteration of the character, which is a drastically different character. So initially everyone thought he was bad because he couldn't do up air, up special, pillar combos like Smash 64. People obviously looked at the overall faults in his recovery and also potential to get edge guarded as also a really bad negative for the character. However, they were truly sleeping on what this character truly would become a top level threat in the meta. People in the early days, like Isaiah, really pushed Falcon to a higher extent. They started to make Captain Falcon look like an actual decent character, showing the overall damage potential that he could do. More and more tier lists go by, Falcon relatively goes up in the meta, while other characters go down. This is normally seen in the first generation of Falcon mains. Years go by, more people began to pick up Falcon, and you could say these were the second generation of Falcon players. The second generation of Falcon players picked up on techniques that were used by people like Isaiah and expanded upon them. The ringleader of this generation of Falcon mains was Hax, who looked the best and was arguably the best Falcon main up until 2014. This is where Captain Falcon hit the Dark Age. When Hax more specifically drops the character, many people viewed his overall competitively viability to drop in a very pessimistic way. People started to adopt the old way of playing Falcon, running in, spamming neutral air. It no longer works. How is Captain Falcon going to deal with characters like Jigglypuff, characters that play rather defensively, for example? What about his awful recovery? What are people going to do in the Sheik vs Falcon matchup? This is why Hax ultimately dropped Falcon for Fox, which on paper doesn't have the same issues like in recovery and is more reliably able to deal with characters like Jigglypuff, for example. People for years to come predicted that Falcon could never win a major from this point on, and he would eventually drop and be irrelevant. People thought Captain Falcon was figured out, and yeah, they were wrong. 20GX. 20GX was the next wave of Falcon mains that were keen on developing Captain Falcon further than people thought the character could go. This meant abandoning the old way of playing Captain Falcon. While most people were fishing for knees, more or less just aimlessly approaching and just trying to do cool because doing cool gets the crowd hype. However, this just goes to show that it doesn't necessarily mean this is a viable tactic for every tournament. 20GX broke down the aspects of the character that were heavily underutilized. Captain Falcon's defensive capabilities. Newer age Captain Falcon mains are more often to hold crouch cancel, wait for a mistake, instead of running in and naring, for example. Falcon is surprisingly good at reflecting back approaches with his own very high KO power, being his obvious down air, and just look at this. What does down air immediately lead into? His knee. A new bread and butter to the character would be to run up, check a character's get up attack, and then punish it with down air knee. Falcon became a menace at just punishing characters overall. Another new underrated mechanic was tech chasing with Falcon. Instead of going for the same old stray aerial to gain percent, Falcons are now adopting tactics that are more commonly used by characters like Marth and Sheik. Falcon's down throw is an incredibly good throw at tech chasing, covering rolls, or just gaining percent. And because this throw puts characters in a tech scenario, guess what? You can punish this again with down air and knee. Along with this, other techniques like mastering pivots, using less ambiguous dash dancing, and just overall using Falcon's great movement to great effect. These techniques made up the newer age of Captain Falcon mains. Put all these strategies together and you pretty much have the 20GX playstyle. This playstyle is most commonly used by players like R.O.B, Nun, S2J, Gatsu, just to name a few. Captain Falcon really molded into being a punish game machine. If you mess up, that's when this character does his best. Instead of running in and just aimlessly approaching, listening to the tempo of the match, mix of defensiveness and offensiveness, this type of playstyle is where Captain Falcon has approached to in the past decade, and it's really been for the better. 20GX was overall successful as an approach for the character. They definitely changed the competitive viability of Captain Falcon, and that was their goal, where he has overall risen in the meta significantly and solidified his overall viability by a lot. People have essentially flipped the script on the character, so shoutouts to all the people who have pushed Captain Falcon to the heights of the character today. People were easily counting him out in the early 2010s. Captain Falcon on the most recent tier lists, he's ranked 6 out of 26, which is a huge leap in viability considering how low he was in Melee's very earliest, less educated tier lists. While Captain Falcon still might have some faults like his lackluster recovery, getting comboed hard at times, he may struggle at finding openings too at some points, he's still an extremely versatile character, and he has to adapt to the matchup and use his tremendous KO ability to take control of the match, and that's when he does his best. When he gets going, that's when he truly shines as a character. Alright you guys, thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you'd like to get videos early, there is a Patreon down below where you get to join the Discord community, and you can also get videos early on there as well. Also, I live stream during the weekend, so if you guys would like to see me live stream, I usually live stream right now on Saturday, so hopefully I see you guys there. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care, have a good one, peace.